Okay, fellas, so this is the heat treated side. This portion of the video is for you guys who ain't got time to watch my whole damn video. You got better things to do and you want to know, is it worth flame hardening my blade? This is heat treated. This is not heat treated. This is after 2 cuts. I cut my grass twice. Trying to get you some better lighting here. It's not working out. We lose focus. So I don't know, you be the judge. This is the hard treated side. This is the soft non-treated. So what do you think? I think this side got beat up just a little bit more. I'm sorry this blade isn't cleaner. Yeah, if you look at it from that perspective, the niche is taken out that way. I'm trying to look right at the blade edge to observe whether or not it's sharp isn't paying off with this phone. This side has a lot of little tiny micro nicks. You see those? But nothing really big. That's the one big dent right there in the whole blade. I don't know, fellas, looks to me like the flame hardening or the face hardening job worked out pretty good. Here's the other side of the blade. That side looks really nice. Let's check that out over here. That side don't look too bad. This is the untreated side. So we're gonna give this another try. This test was basically to see whether or not this is worth even fooling around with. And from what little observation I've seen there, I'm gonna say that it is. I did not do a good job of treating that blade last time. I've got a different idea of how I'm gonna do it next time. But for the most part, I thought some of you guys might like to see what little bit of information I did harvest from that test. What's going on, fellas? Today I'm gonna try a quick experiment because I am sick and tired of sharpening my lawnmower blade. Okay, so as the story goes, I've sharpened this lawnmower blade about twice a month lately, and I'm getting sick of it, and it's starting to get really out of balance. And trail behind it with a wet rag in an attempt to harden this blade tip. I don't know how this is going to go, but we're going to give it a shot, see what happens here. I'm also hoping it'll burn the burr off the blade. Show you guys this blade after several cuts. I should have did a control test, and I apologize for not doing that. I just don't have the time to graph out all that information. Let me give you a quick observation of what we got going on now. Got a beautiful hardened color. I probably should put the water back on that. Oh yeah, she's still warm. Here's the flame we're using to do that with. This is a 12 amp flame, oxyhydrogen. Very pleased with this torch. It isn't fully put together yet. We're still in half-ass mode. I've got some more meters I want to hook up to this thing. Very pleased with the fact that foam's no longer an issue for me. These things used to not have 100% duty cycle, but I'm past that now. That's how I put it out. You just flick it. Otherwise it explodes on you. Okay guys, so I got interrupted by a phone call there. The plan is we have face hardened this lawnmower blade, but we're not gonna do this side. I'm gonna cut the grass, and with just one cut, we are going to observe the effects of this tactic. Now the HHO torch gives us an opportunity to take advantage of the face hardening. You can't do this with the blowtorch, in my opinion, because you'd have to get a little bit too much of the blade hot, I think. I don't want the tip of my lawnmower blade hardened. I don't know about you, but the idea of getting hit in the ankle with a piece of this blade does not appeal to me. So, because of the high concentrations of heat able to be allocated in the exact areas with that HHO torch, we are in business, guys. Look at that, that's beautiful. You can see the different colors, different hardness levels there. We got some straw, some light blue, and some dark blue. Looks like the dark blue's back in the back there, which scares me because we could lose huge chunks of blade like that, guys. You would think you would want the dark blue to be the very face and the light blue to be behind that. For some reason, that's not what we got. This is just the first attempt, though. I think it's going to be really neat to see the results of this. So let's throw this blade back on the lawnmower. We'll cut the grass, we'll take it off, we'll take a look at it. Who knows, this could be one of those days where I make $500 cutting the grass. I've done that with videos before. Okay, fellas, so here is the blade that was not treated. Not heat treated. Gotta find a better contrast here. You can see it does have some damage there right on the tip. Exact opposite side does not have that damage. So it was worth taking my time. There's a little nick right there in the middle of the screen. But for the most part, this side is in better shape. This is with just 2 runs. So maybe you can see why I'm getting so aggravated. This blade is, maybe. There's a lot of damage on the non-treated side. Like, it's basically dull again, in my opinion, on this side. So let's spin the blade. This side has some very small fragmented chips out of it, maybe. But it does appear to be sharper. Nonetheless, this is just 2 cuts, so what I'm going to do is throw it back on there. I think I didn't heat treat it enough, so what I think I'm going to do is heat treat it again and see if I can get better results this time, because I noticed that the color is immediately taken off of the blade after just the first cut. And I want to show you my Bushmaster saw here, which cuts down limbs like a beast, by the way. That's not your average pruning saw there, fellas. Its heat-treated blades retain their color, even after vigorous sawing. That could be because of the curve of the blade. So I'm just curious as to thinking maybe I didn't heat treat it enough. If you don't have one of these, you need to build one, by the way. It cuts down limbs that big like they ain't nothing. Far better than your average pruner. It's got the mass you need. Yeah, I think that side's sharper, guys. This side appears to have some little micro chips in it. There we go. Let's get the macro in on it. It's still really hard to see the edge. There's your bad side. So, in my opinion, it's very vague of a difference, but definitely there. I mean, look at that tip. suffered some pretty bad damage, and this side came out unscathed. You know they had to be hitting the same thing, unless it was just a single hit by that blade, like a rock. That could be it. It could have just hit it like a baseball. So at any rate, it looks promising. Good side. You just can't see the sharpness the way I can on the camera. Okay, I'm gonna give you my visual interpretation here. That side's definitely dull. This side, to the naked eye, is still fairly sharp for a lawnmower blade. Maybe not for a golf course. I'm really hoping some of you guys who actually cut a lot of grass and are involved in sharpening these things will see this video and provide us with some real world input, rather than just a bunch of trolls telling me how worthless I am. So I'm going to look into this further, guys. It appears that a guy can definitely benefit from flame hardening his blades. Now you can cover the blade in clay and heat just the one side of it to get you that heat treat effect, kind of like a katana sword scenario. But I'm going to use the oxyhydrogen torch again, because that's one of the reasons why I own that thing, is because of some of the exotic jobs this thing is capable of pulling off. It can polish plexiglass and it can harden steel and a lot of stuff in between. You cannot weld with this. You can braze with it, but it's still in the construction phase. This is my acetone infuser that I use to pass the hydrogen gas through that bubbler of acetone, which generates something called an acetone flame. You might want to look up acetone copper reaction. You'll get an idea where I'm headed with that. Guys, it is burning hot in here right now. I got to get out of here. I'm done for the day. So that's my 2 cents on flame hardening a lawnmower blade. It's definitely worth it. I'm going to give it another try, but this time I'm going to harden it enough to where it's not just face hardened. I think that's what we did, was just face harden it, because as I said, after the first cut, the color was gone. Like it wasn't even heat treated. But you can definitely see with your eyes an observable difference. It's not a lot, but like I said, I don't think I did the job proper, so it's worth another try. At any rate, I'm going to post my findings and kind of get a discussion going on this and see what anyone has to say. Maybe some of you guys have done it already, and maybe I'm cruising for a bruise in here. I might end up with a piece of shrapnel in my foot. So any input is definitely wanted, and I will let you know if a piece of that blade flies off and hits me in the foot or something, or in the leg. I don't know. So that's all I got. I'm out of here.